Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today I got this Wolverine piece I made for Xtober, and yeah, I'm kind of a little bit late for Xtober and all that kind of stuff, but I really like the challenge so far because it really got me into drawing, and hey, I like drawing X-Men characters, and Wolverine is by far one of my most favorite. When making this piece, there were a couple of things I really wanted to work on and make sure I got right. One of them being the pose, and I feel like that's everybody's mission when they're trying to do their drawing, making sure the pose right. That way their character doesn't look all wonky standing in space like that. But the reason why I chose this pose instead of the standard superhero standing up kind of pose or something like that is because I always saw Wolverine as an animalistic kind of feral, creature, and I really wanted that to be shown by him crouching down like he's ready to, pounce on something, he's ready to get someone. Another thing I kept an eye on was his claws and his forearms. I want to talk about his forearms first because it feels like a no-brainer, but I just never thought about it. But if Logan doesn't keep his wrist straight, his claws pops right through no matter what position his wrist in. So if his wrists are bent or kinked in any way, they're still going to go through. So he has to always be conscious of keeping his wrist straight if he wants his claws to go out the right way. And I wanted to make sure that his wrists and his forearms were in the right, or at least a possible position for his wrist to still be straight and his claws to still pop forward, because there's many different ways you can have the claws come out at camera, but I always wanted to keep the claws straight, kind of like daggers or swords or something, because at least for me, it doesn't make sense if the claws were curved because they have to stay inside his forearm, and some people be like, it's a comic book, doesn't have to take that seriously. But I wanted to make sure that if his claws are coming in and out, like how the movies depict they're somewhat more straighter than they are curved. So I really wanted to get that across and really get that look. And I just really love how the claws are just popping out of your camera, like they're like the first things that are like in your face and everything. And I just really am happy about that. Another thing I did that's not really a challenge or anything that I haven't done before, it's just that I wanted to draw his costume in his I guess you could say his original version, where it's like blue and yellow, because even though the blue and yellow is iconic, I'm always in love with the John Burns brown and yellow color scheme. I think that just looks a lot better on him than the the blue and yellow, because he's kind of like a ninja. He's covert. You send this guy in to do some missions, get in and get out. But so I always thought that the brown and yellow color scheme looked better because you probably be in more foresty areas, more more terrain. You're gonna see this guy coming 5 miles away if he's like wearing all that. But he still looks awesome either way. But yeah, I wanted to do this suit too, just because I always do the John Burns anytime I draw Wolverine in my free time. Because one, it's, at least for me, I think it's a bit simpler to draw. There's not relatively a lot going on, but I still like the blue and yellow one, and I like how this one turned out. I'm just about done finishing up this piece, so I just want to say thank you to anyone and everyone who made it this far in the video. I really appreciate it. And if you want to see more of my work, I got some on Instagram and Twitter if you want to check those out. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.
Last words. Yeah. 2.